Today I start topic number 5 in energy conservation and management. This is the topic heading role of maintenance in energy conservation. So types of maintenance we have to discuss in this: breakdown maintenance, predictive maintenance and preventive maintenance and energy conservation. So there are 3 articles in this particular chapter which I have read out. So as we have already discussed in maintenance IMT, that there are 3 type of maintenance which are required in this particular energy conservation for the industries, in which there are, first is the breakdown maintenance he has given, and as I have told you, breakdown maintenance is always done when the machine is out of service due to any type of damage or fault in the machinery. So breakdown maintenance, this is required only in case of when machine is in off position, which is not working. So according to Energy Conservation Act 2001, we have to given there are certain provisions are there in this act. These act I will read out, that which is compulsory for all the industries and energy users installations, in which one is strengthening the energy management and energy auditing capabilities. So this is the one point, that for every energy installation this particular points holds good for all. Then second is accreditation of energy auditors. This is a compulsory to be done by the energy auditors which are going for auditing in the industry for energy audit. Then fixation of norms for different industrial sector. There are different industrial sectors are there, so we have to fix up the norms according to this Energy Conservation Act. Then manual and codes for standardization the process of energy auditing. This is also to be done in this particular act. Then notification of designated agencies. Designated agency means whatever agency or auditor you authorize for energy conservation audit, you have to notify it. Then standards and the labeling of the system. This is required under this Energy Conservation Act. Then Energy Conservation Act for the building. Building means these are the residential building maximum or the office building in case of commercial installation. So these are the some points which are to be taken into account according to Energy Conservation Act 2001. These are the positions cleared by the Government of India for the purpose of energy audit in the industrial sector. Now, energy conservation in residential and commercial sector, there are certain tips are given according to maintenance. These are the tips to be considered for the domestic and industrial installation. So here for domestic installation, first there are some points which I will read out. So you have to note it, that for residential sectors, use ISI marked electricity appliances and equipment. First point. Then second is make maximum use of natural air and lighting system or sunlight. Then third is turn off lights and fans when there is of no use in the room and the living area. Then clean the dust and accumulated dust on the lights, lamp, bulbs and all the lighting arrangement or the reflectors. Then use low wattage lamps in the galleries, lobbies and balconies and the bathrooms. We have to use low wattage bulb for this. Then do not keep TV or music system or any other equipment in standby mode. So this is also compulsory, that many times we leave in on condition TV and music system at the night time. So whenever you go for sleep, you assure that all these points should be off in off conditions, TV and music system. Then use geysers to heat only the amount of water that you required. The thermostat can be set up to a lower temperature. So this is for the geyser. When we are using electrical energy in geysers, so the thermostat temperature should be set up to the comfortable range of the bathing water, or the water which is used for bathing purpose. So in the geyser you have to set up the thermostat at the optimum temperature. Then prevent illumination in the entries room. Inside, instead of that, provided the task lighting, that is table lamps and reading etc. So naturally for reading purpose you have to use the table lamps instead of the big light for the whole room. So wherever light requirement is there, you can use for study purpose the table lamp of low wattage. Then use compact fluorescent bulbs, that is CFL, of the lower rating, so that energy can be conserved by putting these CFLs or compact fluorescent bulbs. We give the soft light as well as using up to 75% less energy as compared to the filament bulb. So you use the CFLs for this purpose. Then there is another point for this: substitute bulbs with the tungsten filament lamp TFL tubes. They are cost effective and lasting is long, means their life is long for this purpose. Then installed photoelectric controls or timers to turn off and switch on the outdoor lighting at the sunrise and the sunset. So in the outer area, if the lighting is done in the residential building, then we have to use the time limit switch, or they are the photoelectric cells are used for that, which control the lighting outside the building at the time of sunset or sunrise. Then all additional fittings should be removed or permanently switched off. Additional fittings, if there are given some additional fitting in the system or in the building, so you have to switch off it permanently. So these are the point related to the domestic installation. Now similarly for commercial installations, there are some points for energy conservation by this type of maintenance, which is coming under the preventive maintenance. These are the maintenance in which the commercial sections is completed. This is the use of refrigerator is there. So on account of use of refrigerator, 10 to 20% of electricity uses in the domestic installation by the refrigerator. So you have to control the use of the refrigerator, and according to the season you should keep the temperature setting of the refrigerator according to seasonal requirement. Then in this commercial installation, the refrigerator should not be placed against wall exposed to the direct sunlight. This point also I discussed in maintenance last time. So you should install the this refrigerator on the side of the wall where no sunlight is directly affecting or impacting on the wall. Then energy refrigeration and freezer at the right temperature setting is should be there. As I have told you, the setting according to season, it should be properly. So if they are cool 2 to 3 degree colder, then the necessary the energy consumption may got up to approximately 25%. So consumption will go up by 25% if you set up this particular thermostat in or the control switch in the refrigerator for more than 2 to 3 degrees Celsius than the required range. So this should also be take into account that you should keep the value of this temperature setting, it is 2 to 3 degree below the optimum temperature required. Then there is next point is that they clean out behind the fridge regularly for better airflow and better heat transfer. The backside of the fridge, it is carries all the pipelines of the fridge, so regularly it should be cleaned for dust so that the effective transfer of heat can be takes place. This maintenance also increase the efficiency of the fridge. Then make sure that the door is sealed tightly to avoid any energy wastage. The door of the cooling system or the refrigerator, it should be properly tightened with rubber flap so that there is no entrance of the outer air inside the fridge or the cooling system, so that energy will be saved by unnecessary wastage due to increase of temperature of outside air which enter inside the fridge and cooling system. Then allow hot food to cool off before putting in the refrigerator. Normally, many times we put the hot food in the refrigerator directly. So this will also increase the load of the compressor of the fridge. So refrigerator compressor increased their load if we put the hot food directly in the refrigerator. So before putting the food inside the refrigerator, the hot food should be cooled by the natural air system, keep outside, and when it attend some normal temperature as per the room, then you can put this in the refrigerator. So these are the points for the refrigerator use, which may be in the commercial installation or the domestic installation. Now the use for the ovens. So for when we use the ovens, so what are the maintenance schedule for these ovens in this case? We check the seal on the oven doors and cracks or tears in it. So in the ovens you have to check the seal of the oven doors and check whether there should not be any cracks or tears in it. So this is the first point for ovens use. Then cooling should be done uh, with the help of lids on. This permits lower temperature setting. So this particular process used for the oven, that cooking should be done uh, cooking should be done with the help of lids on. So this will decrease the consumption of energy. Then keep the reflectors panes which is inside the oven. So this will stop heating elements bright and clean them for the better output. So this is the particular point which is to be used for inside maintenance of the oven, and should be done regularly on the periodic basis according to period given in the user's manual of the manufacturer. Then use the correct quantity of water for cooling to avoid heat loss. This is also a point for the oven. that use the correct quantity of water for cooling, for cooking, not for cooling but for cooking. The proper amount of water should be used for cooking purpose to avoid heat loss in the ovens. Then keep the reflectors panes beneath storing for storing heating and elements is bright and clean. So this point again I have repeated here, that inside the oven maintenance, this point should be kept in your mind, that the inside reflectors of the oven, they should be properly cleaned regularly. Then do not open the oven door unnecessarily. Every time the door is opened, 4 degree to 5 degree temperature loss is there. So unnecessary opening of the doors, it will lose the temperature about 4 to 5 degree per opening. So to avoid this, you should not open the doors of the oven frequently. Whenever it is necessary, then only you have to do this. Then in commercial sector, air conditioners are also used. So for air conditioners, generally conservation of energy by maintenance of air conditioning, there are some points they have given. These points are, I just read out: set the thermostat to a high or a comfort points, so that it will be degree of cooling should be proper for the this particular air conditioner as required for the comfort temperature. Then don't switch the air conditioner thermostat to the colder setting at the fast turn on. It will waste energy if not turned back to the required level. It means that the frequent turn on and turn off should be avoided for the refrigerator, for this air conditioner, for the comfort temperature. So this will also conserve the energy if you maintain it in this way. Then next point in this is the minimize the direct heat entering at the place by pulling shades and the curtains on the hot days. In hot days, what happen? You have to use dark color types of curtains in the windows and the incoming points for the system where the air conditioners are used. So in the hot days, this precaution should be taken so that it will decrease the consumption of energy in the AC system. Then next point is that the air conditioner exposed to direct sunlight use 5% more energy as compared to other place. This point already I have told you that the AC should be installed on that side where direct sunlight is not approaching. So this will save about 5% of energy if you avoid this installation on the side of wall where direct sun energy is coming. So this point is also under the maintenance schedule of the conservation of energy by maintenance. Then keep the cooling vents or the doors of the unused rooms closed. Where are unused rooms are there, so there should be windows and doors should be remain closed. Otherwise, hot air may enter from those doors and windows, and this will increase the space temperature. For that, the load on the load on the compressor of the AC, that will increase due to increased temperature in the space. So this should be avoided. Now energy conservation points for the AC system again. Next is don't block the air flow at the back of the air conditioner. So on the back side of the air conditioner, whether it is a centralized air conditioning system or split system or the window installed system, in that case you should avoid the flow of blockage of flow of air on the back side of the system. Otherwise this will accumulate and increase the hot air temperature of the air become hot, and this will increase the pressure on the or load on the your compressor of the AC system. So these are the points for the air conditioning system. Now there are some points for energy conservation in transportation. Whenever we manage for transportation, these conservation of energy use, that is in form of petrol or diesel. So there are few points given for the proper maintenance of transportation system, so that the energy conservation can be effectively takes place in this. So there are some points in this also. The points I have just read out: to obtain optimum fuel consumption, maintain car speed between 50 to 60 km per hour. This is the economical range of speed for saving the petrol or diesel. Then use the choke when necessary. Put the choke off as soon as the engine is started. Normally in the cold season, the starting of vehicle take time, so you take the choke for starting, and as soon as the vehicle is started, the choke should be put to off position, so that energy consumption or fuel consumption will be minimized. Then third point in this, when there is a starting trouble of the vehicle, whether it is four-wheeler or two-wheeler, in that case depress clutch to start the engine. Then this would take the load off the engine. So this is a particular type of activity to perform on the four-wheeler or two-wheeler when there is a starting trouble. So this particular point is that depress the clutch, or depress the clutch means clutch को slightly you have to depress or the press it, so that starting can be easily done. Then always start in first gear to get maximum power, because at standstill we require more torque, so you start the vehicle in the first gear whenever you want to start the vehicle. Change the gears at the correct speed. This is also the point along with this. In first gear you start the vehicle, and then when it is speed up, the running of vehicle takes place, that at proper speed the gear should be used of proper range. So number of gears are there, from neutral, first gear, second gear, third gears, fourth gear also in some vehicles. Then there is a reverse gear also. So proper gearing should be done at the proper speed. It should be noted according to the manual of the vehicle, that at which speed you should put the vehicle on which particular gear. So that should be observed strictly. That will also help you in reducing the energy consumption or the petrol diesel consumption in the vehicle. Then after braking, unless the vehicle is brought to the dead stop, don't use first gear, but use only the second or third gear depending upon the speed. So this is also a point to be noted. When you want to stop the vehicle should be stopped, bringing it to first gear, then you stop it. In second gear and third gear, if you stop the vehicle, then unnecessary energy consumption will be there, and vehicle will not be stopped to the exact position. So this should be avoided. Then avoid frequent start and stop to reduce the consumption of battery wastage. Normally, if many times you frequently stop and start the vehicle, then pressure on the battery will come and the battery life will be reduced because of number of discharge takes place frequently. If you do this on off condition continuously on the vehicle, so frequent on off condition should be avoided to prevent the battery life. Then clutch uh, fully after changing gears, riding the clutch or pedal pressed increases the clutch vent and clutch wear and fuel consumption. So use of the clutch, many times people keep uh, uh, feet on the clutch in case of four wheelers, and continuously pressing or keeping the feet on the clutch, that will also increase the consumption of the vehicle, and at the same time the clutch point or clutch plate is deteriorated in quality, so this require the maintenance of the clutch plate frequently. So avoid this pressing of the clutch unnecessary. Whenever it is required to change the gear, then only you press the clutch. Otherwise your feet should not be kept continuously on the clutch plate of the or the clutch switch of the particular vehicle. So whether it is two wheeler or four wheeler, in both the case the same point or same principle is applied. Then apply brakes gradually as far as possible. Brake speed by changing the lower gears. Whenever you apply the gear, first you change the speed and then you apply the brake. Normally at very high speed, if you apply the brake, then it will create the problem of skid of the vehicle and it may cause the accident also. So whenever you want to give the braking in the system and sudden braking is required, or if the braking required gradually, in both the case you first change the gears to the lower range and then apply the brake. Means suppose your vehicle is running at fourth gear or third gear and suddenly you want to stop the vehicle or to apply the brake, so you change the gear to the second position or if possible to the first position, then you apply the brake. This action should be simultaneously should be done, and it is by practice you can get this type of practice, that whenever you change whenever you press the brake, then the change of gear takes place simultaneously to the lower setting. So this is the point for that. This will also reduce the consumption of the oil or petrol or diesel. Then switch to lowest gears on gradients top or down at the right time. Now whenever vehicle is you are running in hilly area, then in both condition, when you are running up or running down, the same gear should be used. Same gear should be used means, in first gear if you are climbing on the hill section by the vehicle, then on the down time when you coming back to down, then also you use the same gear. Same gear means if first gear is for the climbing, then the first gear should be used for dropping down the vehicle to the lower height. So this is the point for the transportation sector, and in this case these points, if applicable for all types of vehicle, start from two wheelers to four wheelers and even heavy vehicles like trucks and other heavy vehicles. So these particular general points which are given from maintenance point of view, you should keep all these type of points in mind whenever we have to go for conservation of energy in case of transportation system. Then uh, other points in this particular topic, it is that these are the role of maintenance which I have given you: residential sector, commercial sector and transport sector. Now remaining part of it is the industrial sector. So in industrial sector there is a number of industries of different types. So there are industries which are having their intensive energy use. In that case there are different points to be considered for this. So next time I will take the energy sector, in which conservation of energy with the help of maintenance. It is from the agriculture sector, then cement plant, then steel plant, fertilizer plant, chemical plant and pharmaceutical plants. Apart from this, the food processing plant. So maximum type of industry we will cover next time. There are certain points which are very common in all type of industries: fertilizer, chemical plant, petrochemical or oil refinery, and paper and pulp industries. These are the type of industries in which sugar industries is there, textile industries is there. So there are certain drives and boilers they are used in all type of these industry. So when we next time will take the points for conservation of energy in different type of industries, that is sugar industries, paper pulp industries, textile industries, then chemical plant, fertilizer plant, power plant also. So these are the points for check which is given for conservation of energy by proper maintenance of the type, that is either preventive maintenance or breakdown maintenance or periodic maintenance. So these points I will discuss next time for the maintenance of energy conservation with the help of these three types of maintenance in the industry. So for today, this is all for the case of the topic number 5, in which the conservation of energy with the help of maintenance schedule of the of the particular type of load in commercial, industrial and transport sector. So these three sectors I have completed today, in which what are the actions to be taken for proper maintenance of the system, so that energy can be conserved properly. So this is all for today. Next time I will take the industrial sector, in which the different type of maintenance, how they help for conservation of energy. So there are so many industries, but according to the course or the content of the course, I will discuss the 3-4 industry which are more important and more commonly where energy uses are there for conservation purpose, which are very much important. So I will discuss not all the 8 or 10 industries, but the few industries, 3-4 industries rather, that I will discuss, because the many points are the same in all case, because the type of energy used in all type of industry, they are electrical energy mainly, or in some cases the steam energy used for with the help of boiler, and in some cases furnaces are used, these, which are the oil fire furnace. So according to the different type of energy used in the industry, that I will be take according to the type of energy used, so that the maximum type of industries can be covered. Because in all type of industries the energy uses are mostly similar type. So the whatever precaution to be taken or the maintenance to be done for this type of industries, which are almost the common points are there. So these points I will discuss next time whenever this period will come. And in this, the industries which are energy intensive consumption industries are there, that I will take into account, and I will give the points for or the tips for conservation of energy by management of this particular type of industries. So this is all